Everybody, dun, 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 hit the wrong button. Anyway, welcome to the show, and welcome to the show. Infinity, Eric, Rob, Ryan, Rex, Wade, Donald, Sergio, Stephen, Rosalind, Maurizio, Craig, Mark, Dave, excuse me, Robert, Mark, Nikki. Good to see you as always. Diane, Dan, Doris. That's a lot of D's. Michael, Alan, David. Good to see everybody. Zoob, Robin, I don't recognize your name necessarily, but welcome to the stream. Francois, Ted, Stephenborn, Laura, Amy, Joseph, Larry, Don, Rongamer, as always, Don, Marty, Nancy, Gary, and actually hit the wrong button there, but make sure you give me a like and thumbs up if I say anything that's helpful, beneficial, or you like, or maybe if you don't even like it today during the stream. And if you wonder how in the devil to chat with all these awesome people coming in here chatting, click the button over here in the corner, be a subscriber on the channel. A few seconds later, you can chat on the stream. That's the only requirement. There's no membership. There's no nothing right now. Although I'm thinking about having a channel membership thing and maybe offering some bonus go live sessions. What do you think? Would y'all be game for that channel membership thing? Let me know in the chat. Even if you're TTL, I wouldn't have a way to, it would be a YouTube thing. So I wouldn't have a way to just comp you, but let me know in the chat if you would appreciate maybe other sessions, maybe for special people, special channel membership, extra content. So anyway, I see a few people saying yes. So maybe I'll think about that. Anyway, YouTube was asking me if I want to do a channel membership thing, and I thought about maybe. So anyway. All right, cool. All right. Hey, Gustavo, good to see you as always. My man, my one of my top customer service people right there in the chat saying, hey, good morning. He runs customer service live every single day, just in case you didn't know. All right. Let's flip over. Do this. All trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. That means I may never get anything right again, including my analysis on NVDA this morning that I'm about to give you. And starting here before I jump into NVIDIA and get anybody swayed on any ideas. So you may take a loss. There's substantial risk of loss, no matter what I say. All right. This presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining. All right. I'm in entertainment, a financial entertainment. Whether you want to, argue that or not, that's basically what I'm doing. I'm competing for your eyeballs. So it's not a recommendation to be buying stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries. Don't long them, don't short them, don't trade them. If you desire personal financial advice, hire and consult a financial advisor. All right. So, NVIDIA earnings. Man, I flipped this. I swear. TradingView. Sometimes me and TradingView. All right. I think I'm slightly pushing TradingView to the limits. That's what I think. Anyway, so look right here. This is the market is waiting for earnings, right? That's what we got. We came up, filled this gap over here, and I'm not even gonna change the color. Oh, that was cool. Cool. All right. So market filled the gap. Let's just grab a box. Right there. Fill the gap. Sit on top of the gap. Apollo, my favorite pattern would say odds are we're going up. Now, that's the market roadmap pattern. Look, 11 instances of this, 100% of the time. It got in right here. Is this going to be, now, 11 is, think about it. NVIDIA has been around for a long time, and let's just make sure we got the entire history here, all the way back to the beginning of NVIDIA, 1999. Bring it up to today, 100% of the time. So every time this pattern has shown up on the daily chart, it is paid out. That's only 11 times, though. And if anybody's taken some statistics, 11 is not a statistical population. It's about a third of a statistical population. So what does that mean? It means it may not be representative of future results. All right. 30 is generally held as a statistical population. That's why, blah, blah, blah. You got to have about 30 that's why, funny enough, when you do the math, that's why when you have about 30 people in a room, that's why 2 people share a birthday. It's all about the statistical population. More often than not, if you have 30 people in a room, you'll have 2 people sharing a birthday. It's kind of weird the way that works. It's not because people, get friendly at Christmas and all that stuff. No, it's just a weird way that statistics work. So, 11, not a statistical population, but I mean, it's hard to argue with something that's happened 11 times in the past. And fired off right there. Maybe the market's telling us the tell is that we're going up here. Maybe. Now, it can be very brief. It could spike up there and then drop. Spike up there, hit the target, and plummet out. That's entirely possible. Entirely possible. Now, the market is pricing in about a $14 move, with closed market numbers. I'm not going to pull up live market numbers while I'm on here live today. That's a little bit beyond the scope of what I do. But last night during 30 Minutes of Awesome, I kind of showed off how to do that by creating, you go at the money, whatever the at the money strike is, you sell the call, sell the put. You don't actually place the order, but you create the order to sell the call, sell the put at the money, right at the money. Whatever that mid price is basically the move that the options market is pricing between now and the expiration. It works for all, it's not earning specific. It works for all options, all tickers. If you didn't know this, it's a handy dandy little trick. So sell the at the money put, at the money call, create that order, whatever that mid price is, that's the expected move. It's very crude. There are more fine-tuned ways to do it. That gives you general ballpark. And right now, that's a $14 move. And on NVDA right now, $14 up from it'd be $14 from the close yesterday. So $14 up is right there, roughly. So looking at 142, which is just shy of the 148. So there's opportunity for that to get an outsized pop. And $14 down, roughly right there. Roughly 114. So there's your spread. All right. There's your spread. 28-point spread. All right. If you're going to play NVIDIA with options or something, just know that's about the expected move. All right. Now, can it do an outsized move? Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I've already gone over the high probability outcome higher. All right. That's already in the cards. But there's always a but. What if you're wrong? Right? What if you're wrong? That's a valid point. And I'm going to delete that little thing I clicked on because I've already got it drawn. What if you're wrong? Look, this could be the first move down in this correction here. This could be the corrective move of the first move down. And then that could be the next move down. Right down in there. And I don't have it quite pulled up to the right point. Right there. Right there. It's at 100%. 81. So there's your support zone. Right there. For now. Here is your target zone on the upside. Upside resistance. Downside support. Here's the playing field. Everything in here. There's the playing field, basically. Looks like a exploding oil derrick. Anyway, there you go. All right. Sendacor, this is not a request show. What I did was I go in pre-market and pull all the things moving either up or down and create a list. They have to move $2 up or down. And then I bring a couple bonus trades too, because everybody loves bonus trades. So I've got bonus trades coming in at the end that are set to go higher potentially. All right. So that's NVIDIA. Any questions? We have earnings coming up after the close. I may be around Discord for it, but maybe not. We'll see what actually happens. Definitely spicy. Definitely spicy. So, all right. Dun, 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 dun. Yes. A little bit of, It's like the whole market is waiting on NVIDIA earnings. Look at this. Same kind of pattern, almost exactly on ES right there. Popped up right above the danger zone, right? I mean, basically did the, the fill. And if we look at the S&P, actual cash index, we came up just shy of making a new high in the market. And we just been parked here. Kind of got a big retrace the other day, and we've been inside candle, inside candle, inside candle. 3 days, indecision. It's like we're just waiting for all the things. So even after today, we have some other things coming down the pipe. Tomorrow, that's Friday. Tomorrow, we have preliminary GDP quarter over quarter, year over year. We get this preliminary GDP and unemployment claims. Unemployment claims, we know those numbers are made up. But GDP, we know those numbers are made up too. But that probably has more influence on the market than the unemployment claims that we get every week. So that comes up before I go live tomorrow morning, before the market opens. So we'll see what's cooking. We'll talk about it tomorrow and kind of see how that plays in the market. Now, I'll talk about it, how it may affect the market. Then on Friday, be aware, 8:30 in the morning, we get PCE right there. And as I was talking about yesterday, that may have, it's probably going to be 0.2%. Like it's kind of what they've already signaled they want. That's probably what's going to print. We'll see. It's kind of been month over month. It's been hanging right there more often than not, but that's still above the 0.1%. We usually get blips to 0.2, but usually hang at 0.1. We've been running spicy, and if we get a 0.3 or 0.4, things could be a little crazy. But I'm not sure we're going to do that because gasoline prices haven't been going too crazy. So it looks like the market just opened, getting all sorts of freaking alerts going off. And there we are. Unloading. Dun, 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 dun. Microsoft app. Ooh, app. Come on, Tesla. Get out of there. Advanced auto parts. Oh, look at that. Breaking lower. Target on that one's down here. Set alert right there. That's really weird right there. Look at O'Reilly. Oh, talk about it. Advanced auto parts must be just like really sucking at what they're doing. Nope, that's not the right one. AutoZone. AZO. Why can't I remember that? Can't remember that one. All right, AZO and O'Reilly look the same, while look at that, $3,000 share price. Holy guacamole! If only I'd been smart enough to buy that at down here, or even way over here. Golly, man! Talk about one. Obviously, money in auto parts. Golly. Wow. All right. And O'Reilly's doing pretty good too. But Advanced Auto Parts not doing too great. Obviously, they have some sort of malfunction going on in their ability to perform in a market that's just absolutely crushing it. I just, yeah. Wow. Advanced Auto Parts, obviously not doing good. Napa on here. I don't know Napa Auto Parts. Don't see it. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Moving on. S5TW, stocks above their 20-day. Still parked at the top. We don't hang out here long. Caution. We could hang out here a month or so, but eventually we're going to roll. And when we roll, it's going to be pretty wild. Usually this drops very, very quickly. So be cautious of that. S5FI sitting right up here. Are we going to drop back down? We did the little poke out the bottom. Now we did a little poke out the top. Are we going to come back down again? Fill out the rest of this watermelon seed squeeze? I don't know. That's, it's not going above 100 and it's not going below 0. So this is the percentage of S&P 500 stocks above their 50-day moving average right here. It's just an oscillator. You can't buy it. At least not that I know of. It's just an index. Just something I keep an eye on. It's a barometer for the market. Usually we don't spend much time over 80. That's true for the S5TW, stocks above their 20-day. This is same thing for stocks above their 50-day. We're running in the red. All right. We haven't been down to the bottom, haven't flushed out the market. Gosh, since back here last fall. Almost a whole year we've been running up here. Eventually we're going to pay the piper. I mean, look, we did spend a nice long period back here. It was from 2020. We didn't get all the way back. I mean, we did dip down there. We dipped down there. But that was a good long period right there. A whole year we basically went without dipping down. So can we run it a year? Yeah, we could run a year plus without dipping down here. But eventually we're coming down. Eventually. So just know eventually we're going down. Same on S5TH. This is the stocks above the 200-day. A little bit slower. A lot of bit slower. It tends to break out the top. I mean, it trends up to the top, back to the bottom, up to the top, back to the bottom quickly during COVID. Back up to the top, back down to the bottom, back up to the top. Did we top? Are we going to make a higher top? Then we're going to go back to the bottom. It's inevitable. Like, we're going to go back to the bottom. And we're not going to stay at the top indefinitely. It's just, we have forever of market history that says we're not going to stay at the top forever. All right. So jumping into ES, looking at the smaller time frames. We're just trading inside. Like I said, hanging with the 1 hour roadmap line. Staying on the bullish side of it. We start breaking down below 5,600. Watch out for a deeper retrace. We may come down to this 5560 area. If we do, it's kind of the first indication there. So 5,600 is a level I'm kind of watching. And you're like, well, what the heck is ES1? That's the S&P 500 futures. I watch them because you notice there's no gaps. If we go over to the cash index, look at all these gaps that start showing up. I don't like gaps in charts because that's missing information. All right, to fill in the missing information, we just pop over to the futures right here. Fills in all the information, what happened overnight. There you go. And more often than not, this one does pretty accurately give us a gauge on where we're heading. Right. Only occasionally does the cash reign supreme. Beef supreme and NQ still holding that downtrend of highs, even into, I thought we might poke through overnight. We did not. We held it. Oh, look at that. Held it. If we can poke through, get above that 19.7, we're probably getting in somewhat of an all clear, and NVDA may pop, and we may see this. It's gonna be a tough day if we just hover right here at 19.6 all day. I don't see how we could possibly do it, but it's gonna be a grind of a day if we just hold that waiting for NVIDIA earnings tonight. Whew. Russell looks like it's coming back down for a 1 hour test right here, 2120 or 2200, 2200. And so you're like, all right, how do you trade ES, NQ, RTY? So ES, S&P 500, SPY, ETF for that. All right. NQ, NASDAQ, QQQ. That's the ETF for that. Russell, IWM. That's the ETF for that one. All right. Oil. Let's go look at some oil. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, see, I'm pushing trading view to the limit here. Freaking hates me today. All right. Hovering. If we break out the bottom, we may be flushing it down. I've been saying for a couple days, maybe a week or more now, if we flush oil down, I think the incumbent gets reelected. put in, bumped up in office, but reelected. And if oil breaks out the top, I think the incumbent loses. And if we stay in the middle, it's a coin flip. I think it's as simple as that. Might be as simple as that. GC. Nasty retrace there. I was optimistic for a breakout. Golly, look at the volatility on that. It's still inside the range we've had for the last week or so. Everything seems to be waiting. Like ES is like that, NQ is like that, gold's like that. Bitcoin finally moved right back down to the roadmap line on the futures and dipped below the roadmap line. This is a cautionary tale right here. If we move down and sustain a move down below these lows, right here, we already pushed down below it. Watch out. We can get an extended move down to a lower low. I was warning about that. ETH/USD. We got part of the way there. Just a little bit to go to make that lower low. They'd clean up Ethereum, and we'd be all clear. We'd be all clear. We can go higher. That'd be nice. Dollar. Hanging right here. Jolly. For those that, look at that. Look at that. Gold price seems to be not high. Everybody says, like, everything's correlated to the dollar. Look, the stock market's not doing opposite this. Gold's not doing opposite this. Bitcoin's not doing opposite this. Things are correlated to the dollar when they're correlated. They're not when they're not. And right now, I don't think dollar is correlated to much of anything. Be careful out there. We may see this flush on down, mid-90s. Japanese futures trying to push higher. Do have that next resistance box right there. We break above that. Watch out, 44,000. And that may do it. You may be like, how do you trade that? I don't know. I don't care. I don't trade Japanese futures. I just keep an eye on it because the carry trade and all the things blowing out. And I always type that one backwards. USD, JPY. This one definitely looks like we're coming down. I would be very careful. This looks like we're going to go retrace a little bit deeper. Possibly. This is not doing like what the Japanese futures are doing. This is the yen, US dollar yen conversion rate. Obviously something's up there. So, all right, we already went over NVDA. AV, environment. Nice pop. This will be a potential entry. We close the day here. This might be on the docket for a bonus trade tomorrow. So 232 is the target. If we get the confirmation close up here, up there's the target. It does have earnings. Be careful coming up next week. AMBA. What's popping, what's dropping? Remember, I grabbed everything moving $2 or more. I'm looking for two different patterns here, basically. One is the roadmap pattern, roadmap bounce. They're similar, but this is a high probability pattern. I'm looking for the bullish instance of this. It's funny that somebody would call me a perma bear when my primary pattern I look for is bullish. We look for this to come up, break the 618. How do you know where the 618 is? You run the fib line from here to here. You have the roadmap line. Roadmap line is in the description for $5, or you can go to my channel homepage down here when we're done here and look at my favorite indicator. Let's see, I guess I'm not pointing, but it has arrows pointing to it. It's the orange line right up there, roadmap line. And this is a very simplified version. That 618 break right there, we get the candle close above it, confirms 75% likely across all like hundreds of thousands of trades, almost all time frames. 75% likely we're going to get this little continuation move right there. I like high probability moves. That's money you can basically put in the bank. High probability. 75% of the time you can put that money in the bank right there. Now, you'd be like, well, can we go for an extension? Well, 70% of the time we usually hit the 1272. A little bit less, a little bit lower likelihood. But it drops drastically to only like 35 to 40% to get to the 1618 in one solid move. So be careful, all right? Go for the high probability and then protect your profits. All right? That's pattern number one. Pattern number one. Pattern number two looks very similar. Very similar. I like the bullish one. We see the bearish one more often, it seems like, lately. I like the bullish one where we're in a downtrend, primarily. We get some sort of reversal off the bottom. Then we retrace down to that 618 level. Right there. How did I draw that perfectly? I draw it a lot. And then we're looking for a continuation higher. Now, the target for this one tends to be right up here. 1272. Drawn that way with the 3-point tool right there. And this pattern is lower probability. It's more like a coin flip, but it has much, much bigger potential upside. So I keep an eye out on that one because, well, it's a moneymaker. I've made lots of very large trades based on that pattern right there. So there you go. And if you want an example of that awesome measured bounce trade, check this out. Weekly chart. Dun, 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 dun. Look at this right here. Yeah, move up, that retrace, potential crazy move up here. But it may take 2030, 2033, 2035. Could take a while. Right there. All right. So that's the two patterns I'm looking for. Yeah, I've had a complaint that people were having trouble with my patterns, so I'm trying to explain the patterns more for new people, just like you, if you're new here, so that you can understand what I'm looking for. So right there, that's that market roadmap pattern. We broke through, retraced, it's upside down, but that target could be lower right there. And just using the fibs, we're looking at 139, 135, and possibly extending lower. Now, if we can get above the roadmap line, we can start looking higher targets up here for that bigger roadmap bounce, bigger picture right there. But right now, bias lower as long as we're below the roadmap line right here. Below this roadmap line, as long as we're on the downside, bias is down. Watch out. It's not a high probability anything for me. I don't like to trade for those because, let's face it, the market goes up 7 to 9% a year on average for like 100+ years, right? That's high probability, up 7 to 9%. Why would you bet against that on a big time frame? And that's kind of why I tend to look more bullish for my trades. RGS, Regis Corporation. Is that a reverse split? Oh, it is a reverse split. So this is basically a dumpster fire. What is dumpster fire? If you're new here, look at this. See how this chart just giant, overwhelming plummet into the abyss right there. Reverse split. It's where you had 20 shares and now you got 1 share, or you had 100 shares, now you have 5. All right. That's a reverse split. Everybody's used to stock splits. Like NVDA did a 10 for 1. Like you had 1 share, now you got 10. This is a reverse split where you had 20 and now you got 1. Those aren't bullish. When stocks do this, it's not bullish. I don't care if it's popping right now. It's probably a dumpster fire, piece of garbage. Be careful. PAC. That's been churning sideways, baby. I don't like to get involved in stuff that's doing that for more than a year. I wait for it to clear up the chart. We can, there's so many things with clarity. There's 2 at the bottom here that are bonus trades with clarity. This is not clear to me at the moment. ACAC, that's a SPAC. SPACs are like this special purpose acquisition company thing. Not really tradable. SBIT, short, ultra short, leveraged short Bitcoin. Ultra short. Ultra means leverage right there. Be careful on leverage. Be careful on leverage. Bitcoin dropping. This is popping a little bit, but the overwhelming look of this chart looks like we're going to plummet into the abyss, eventually heading to lower right there. which means Bitcoin's probably going to pop. Would I count on that today? No. It just looks like that chart just has the tell that we're probably going lower on this chart. If it's an ultra short and it goes up when Bitcoin goes down, that means Bitcoin's probably going up as this plummets to the abyss. BLSK, BSLK, say the letters in the right order. Not enough candles to do anything with. SMTC. Wow, nice. This high, this low. See it right there? If we close above it today, which right now it's a red candle below the 618 level and that gap down, it gaps our resistance. It's filled that gap and now getting a pullback. There are people that got caught at the gap, right? They just want a GTFO. Get out of that freaking stock right there. And if we can get the close above it, 49, possibly 51. If we don't, maybe coming back down again. Box. Dun, 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 dun. Nice pop, but it's a big sideways, choppy, hot mess of stuff. If we can get above these highs, we could be talking about something on the upside, but right now, it's a lot of volatility in a very narrow $6, $7 price range. Stuff that was dropping. Oh man, look at that. Biotech, pharma. So there's 4 things that commonly don't hold the pattern, follow patterns. Biotech being one of them, and that's anything the Food and Drug Administration of the United States is involved in, like pharmaceuticals, medical tech, medical technology, medical specialties, hospitals, all the things the FDA puts their fingers into don't tend to follow the patterns. And biotech, biotech pharma, if you see bioscience, any of that stuff. So I'd be careful on that one. ANF, Abercrombie and Fitch. Double tap on the roadmap line. This is what I'm cautious about, like on NVDA. See how we came up, didn't hold it, right back down to the roadmap line right there on Abercrombie and Fitch. That's what I'm worried about for NVIDIA. And this was that on earnings today? Yeah, it was earnings today. So they've been crushing it, and then all of a sudden disappointing a little bit. So warning signs are present. Now, the extension, this is why I would be concerned if we get below this low over here. We move on down. That indicates we're coming down into this vicinity right here on Abercrombie and Fitch. And that could play out the same way on NVIDIA. And the same way on SMCI. Look at that baby go. Look at her go. Look at her go. This was the bubble pattern. You may be like, bubble pattern? I'm new here. I don't know what the devil you're talking about, bubble pattern. Check this out. You can go Google this. Psychology of a market cycle. All right? Everybody. I mean, I heard so many people talking about how if you want to be rich, just go buy SMCI and NVIDIA. I even had people in Discord like, JT, you talk crap about SMCI. It's never coming down. It's going up. It's going to keep going up. Hopefully they got out, because right now we've done this consolidation and we're on the way back down. Probably going to take almost all of it back. I mean, look, I've had that on the chart for, gosh darn, all year. All year. Look how close we are. Look how far we've come. I have not given up on this yet. We're going to take it back. And we may even come all the way back down to the $100 area. Well, we may go down 75% more. Be careful. Be careful. I mean, I pointed out that this made absolutely no sense. Like, they were not the biggest seller of NVIDIA GPUs, not even NVIDIA, not even AI servers. Dell had a bigger market share than SMCI. And, Dell paying the piper too. Same kind of bubble pattern, same consolidation. Watch out for a deeper retrace on Dell. PVH. That glancing off the bottom there may extend lower. Watch out. We're getting below the 618. That can be. That could break through, but it could flush. I would be very careful on that one too. Not clear. NCO, that's a lot of sideways, hot, choppy mess. Slight bias upward, but a lot of choppiness. Not what I'm looking for. SJM, golly, man. Had the opportunity to reverse up here and went lower low. Man, talk about messing up chart pattern. So now we got to zoom out and look a little bigger picture here. That low, that high. We're in the vicinity of where we could hold. Hold them and fold them. Oh, look at that. That looks pretty good. Actually, on a log mode. I commonly hold that algos are responsible for log mode or not log mode. And it's not just the algos themselves. It's the programmers, whether they program the algos to use log mode or not log mode on a particular instrument. This one looks fairly clear on a log mode that we have the potential to do that, what I call measured bounce thing. That potentially has the potential to go up to this 222 area. Breaking above that is kind of the tell right there. Get above this, that's why I've got these alerts right in here. Probably want to pull that one down just a hair. Got these alerts sitting here. I may get in a long-term position for a bigger potential move on SJM. It's not there yet. You could take it as a gambler, but right now it's finding resistance at the roadmap line on the daily and could, in fact, go lower and wreck this pattern and end up down here in the 80s. So that's not where I want to put my risk. Coin is retracing with Bitcoin, retracing, and that was kind of what I drew. Where's my zoom tool? There we go. Zoom her up, buttercup. I thought we might retrace back down here. Dot. Test this one more time. That's a measured bounce. We found resistance here. If we do that, bust through, we can get on the path to going much higher on Coinbase right there. Footlocker. Oh, look at that retrace. Coming back down. Consumers are faltering a little bit here. That's the name of the game. We want to see this hold this. If it cannot hold that roadmap line and that uptrend of lows, we may bust this pattern and head lower. They did report earnings today and lost money on billions of dollars. I mean, what the heck is going on at Footlocker? Made money before, but I guess took some write-downs and lost money. That does have a, this was a pattern I put out a while back. It's probably on the path to go up here to 47.50, but it's going to take a little while. It's a lot longer than I thought it was going to take. This could be all the way out here next year, possibly in 26 before we get up there. It just seems to be the way it's going right now. Working on that reversal. Super aggressive target all the way up to 90, but may take a while. PPLT, platinum, physical platinum shares. Man. Platinum. Just go to the futures chart instead of looking at something like PPLT. Remember what I said about sideways for years? And that has the opportunity to break down lower. If we get down here, if we get back to $500 on platinum, I would buy some platinum long term. GDXU. Wow. So this is gold miners, and notably, look at this chart versus this chart. Why do you want to trade the gold miners? Like, what tells you, what says there's opportunity right here? This tells me there's something wrong with gold miners in a leveraged fashion. Then to be cautious. Don't go buying small miners. Buy ones that have awesome charts like this one. Gold's ripping. This is ripping. All right. It did plummet into this point here, but now it's starting to rip. Even this chart, not nearly as awesome. Look at that, how choppy that is. You know, I made hundreds of thousands of dollars off of this move over here. Hundreds of thousands of dollars before I was a guru. Right there. Now, right now, that doesn't look the same, like the same kind of opportunity. But this one looks like that kind of opportunity. We came down, did the measured bounce, and reversed sharply, busting through the roadmap line, getting confirmation after confirmation, making higher lows, or higher highs. I mean, we're at this, we got to break this one. And we've got to break this level at 60, which is where my options are. And then we've got the all-time high, or this high right here, recent high from 22, 86, possibly up here to my target, 100 to 150 area. That'd be pretty sweet. So gold miners don't have to follow NEM, although GDX, the biggest component of GDX is NEM. So MSTR coming back down as I kind of postulated that we may see this return to the roadmap line one more time. PDCO, ooh, bounced off the roadmap line to the downside. May go a little lower, down to 21. ARCB, that's a Bitcoin ETF, just following Bitcoin. BitX, leveraged Bitcoin, glancing off the vicinity of the roadmap line. Not what I want to see. This may be indicative we get a lower low in the near term. ETHV, VanEck, this is one of the Ethereum ETFs, just messing around and may get a lower low. Ugly, Ultra Gold, sitting at that resistance, 93, the next upside target for Ultra Gold. Ultra Silver, just messing around here, has not been able to get above the 618 to get the extension right there. Bonus trades, DD. Now, the warning here is DD has been in this box, in this sideways price action for a long time. It did this bounce right here, this high, this low, confirming we may see it run to the top of the box. So we're not really looking for anything getting out of the top of the box. We're just trading in the box. 86.46, probably the upside target. I'll show you in a second the official targets and everything. MAC is the other one I brought right here. This high, this low, close above. There's the potential 1726. And you can see we've been consolidating up here, but it's not really been longer than a year. It's just a few months. And that doesn't take a break to new highs. It just returned back to the highs to get to that target. Now, maybe like, well, what are the historical statistics on these, right? Like everybody wants to know. Inquiring minds want to know. So we'll start with MAC first, since I pulled that one up first. Right here. Check it out. So, has a new potential entry, which is kicked off. Target 1723. These are the official numbers right here from the tool. 1723 target. Stop below 1285. That's a upside potential of $1.35. 70% of the time it's worked out. Positive profit vector. This has worked on 24 trades since 1994. So it's been a nice, almost statistical population, almost. Usually takes about 38 days. Trading days. That's an important distinction there. Trading days. That's not calendar days. That's trading days. We go back over, look at this, pull it over, use this tool. We're like, all right, how many days is trading days? 30, 53, so almost 2 months on average. Now it could take longer. You may be like, well, dollar move. I'm not feeling a dollar move. That's cool. You don't have to do it. Don't take it. That's the beauty of this whole thing here. And the other one, DD. Roll back to DD. Roll back. So look right here. Oh, that's cool. Awesome. I know what I did. Watch this. There we go. DD has the upside potential. 86.35. That's a $3.86 move. 74% of the time it's worked out. The losers are bigger than the winners. If it fails, be careful. You may lose money. Of course, you may always lose money. 46 trading days on average. 54 trades since 1968. That's a long, that's almost a double statistical population right there since 1968. And that's the limit of my history. This has actually been around much longer than 1968 right there. That's the furthest I could pull back. So we're looking at 54 days. No, 46 days. 46 trading days. Getting all mixed up. 46 trading days. So that runs out to right there. Just over 2 months. Somewhere around the election. If you're going to play that move. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Is the 1940? Yeah. That's so how I did this, you turn on the algorithm, like just show you how it works. You go, this took a long time to do all this. See, 1968 is the furthest back on that one. You go to select today, you generate the report. There you go, 55 trades, 74%, negative profit factor. And these numbers have changed slightly since I ran this before because we had another trade that, since I built this database, we got that other trade right there that worked out on DuPont right here. Right there, that one worked out. So there's actually one more trade that worked out since I built the database. And it doesn't, the database doesn't update live. Sorry. It was as of Memorial Day, basically. All right. So this one, when you go back, first available date, 1994, right there. To today, generate report. And this one's already in a trade, by the way. 24 trades, 70% of the time, 1.09, right like that. Cool. That's how it works. That's how where the statistics come from. So I just built a database that pulls them up and automatically searches. It took forever to build. There's 3,600 tickers that it searches every single day for this pattern. And when it shows up, there you go. I usually try to bring the highest probability ones and show them off every single day. So if you appreciate that and like it, give me a thumbs up in the chat, or, I welcome super chats if you want to do that. Just throwing it out there. All right. Thanks everybody for coming. I'm going to wrap it up here. We have NVIDIA earnings tonight. Remember, don't forget. We'll see you later. Be back. Same bat time, same bat channel. We'll talk about the reaction on NVIDIA earnings tomorrow morning and some of those other numbers like the GDP.